In Unit 2, we're looking at technologies of literacy, reading, literacy, and texts. And our focus is on the internet, hypertext, and the rise of digital literacy. As it describes here on the part opener page for Unit 2, if the printing press is the first revolution in the technology of the book, the internet is the second. What's different, of course, is the pace of change. Print culture took 500 years to evolve and develop. Internet culture has evolved and developed in about 25. I mean, if you look at the deepest background, the early history of the internet goes back to the 1960s, but the internet itself was not really launched to the public until 1993 and officially named the internet in 1995. So we're talking about a complete revolution in the tools of communication and the technology of the book in less than one human lifetime. So we're looking at a very rapid change from the culture of print to the culture of internet and hypertext. So there's a lot to consider, there's a lot to look at, but it's a really fascinating topic and a really fascinating approach. So please read through this introduction to Unit 2 here, but I just want to highlight a little bit and give you a preview of what we're going to be doing and talking about in the next 5 weeks of the course. So you can read the overview of the topic here, but here at this bulleted list basically suggests our primary research question, which is, what do these changes mean for reading and literacy, the changes from print to digital culture and digital literacy? What do these mean? How do we change the way we read? How do they change the way we define and experience literacy? Our key concepts are going to be reading, literacy, multimodality, multiliteracies, learning, and digital literacy. Don't worry if some of those terms like multimodality, if you don't know what that means yet, we'll define that soon. Our focus, of course, is reading and literacy, and our writing goals in terms of what you're really going to be focusing on in your own writing through the course is understanding how people read online, designing websites. You'll be designing your own website, writing for online readers, and using visuals. So we are shifting the tools of our own writing from traditional academic text to web-based writing. So as it says here, by the end of Unit 2, you will have a deeper understanding of how digital technologies shape the reading experience, and you will have practice with organizing, designing, and writing content for online readers. Pretty useful skills. Here is the outline of the 5-week unit. Week 6 is called the Second Revolution. That's where we are now. Week 7, Reading in the Age of Hypertext. Week 8, Visual and Multimodal Literacies. Week 9, Design Thinking and UX. That's short for User Experience. And Week 10, Writing the History of the Internet, which is, again, a writing week for you to complete your project for project number 2. So that's a preview of where we're going. Let me jump over to the schedule for a minute. So here's the course schedule. I have updated it with all of the assignments and dates for Unit 2. You can see right here, there's this bar, Technologies of Literacy. So this is Unit 2. Week 6, right here is where we are now, September 23rd. There are 2 assignments this week if you're a grad student, just 1 if you're an undergrad. Assignment 5, right here, due Monday the 30th, is a reflection on your own process for project number 1. And if you click that link, as usual, it takes you to the actual template page. But this asks you to kind of take a step back and reflect on how you feel about the work that you did in that first case study project and what you might want to revise, what you might want to do differently next time, and so forth. So that's a useful kind of post-evaluation, self-evaluation of what you learned in project number 1. And then grad students, some of you have already jumped ahead and done this, but if you haven't, the first blog post, you have 2 options for that blog post. Option 1 is to convert your case study into a blog post. Just take the actual assignment and rewrite it as a blog, or to write a summary or response to this Catherine Hales reading, which is called How We Read, Close, Hyper, and Machine over here. So that's week 6. Week 7, Reading in the Age of Hypertext. The assignment is generating research questions. You'll notice that there's a parallel structure to this unit as the one before. So we're going to begin by thinking about research questions and sort of beginning to map out ideas and topics for project number 2. There's some readings over here in the course textbooks. Week 8 is on visual and multimodal literacies. Assignment 7 is to start finding sources and finding visuals for your second case study. Week 9, design thinking and UX, assignment for that week is a site plan and mock-up. Sort of like an outline. An outline is to a printed document what a site plan or a mock-up or a prototype is to a website. And then finally, week 10, writing the history of the internet, your final project, case study number 2, which is on reading and literacy in a digital age, delivered in the form of a website using Google Sites, is due Monday, October 28th. So as usual, the pattern is there's always a short assignment due on each Monday of the next 5 weeks, and those assignments are carefully crafted so that they help you develop and build ideas and content for Project 2. So that's where we're heading in the next 5 weeks. I think it'll be really exciting. It's a nice shift forward from the past to the present, and I look forward to working with you on technologies of literacy. Thanks for listening.